Being grey-listed means it's more difficult for South Africa to borrow money, and the country pays it back at high interest rates. FATF gave South Africa 22 action items to perform to get off the list. So far, the country has addressed 8 of these action items. Treasury has indicated that the deadline for the last action items are in January 2025.
We are speedily implementing the action plan agreed to by South Africa and the Financial Action Task Force. Government is working diligently and collaboratively to meet all of the deficiencies identified and believes that an exit from the grey listing can take place as early as the first period of 2025.
But not everyone is as convinced that this will happen.
We doubt whether this will be achieved. Whilst we have made progress, a serious shortcoming relates to improving the investigation and prosecution of serious and complex money laundering and terrorist financing activities cases. In addition, we have to improve the seizure and confiscation of the proceeds of crime. Now, how can these conditions be fulfilled when the budgets of the Hawks, the NPA, which includes the Asset Forfeiture Unit, and the SIU have been reduced by the very same minister?
All the things we do in this country do not speak to us wanting to get off that list. And until we get off that list, we're not cropping up in any international investment destination for big-time investors. And until we start investing in economic infrastructure and investing in townships infrastructure, we're not going to grow our economy. So I don't see that happening. You know, in politics, you've got to walk the talk, not just talk the talk.
However, at least one economist is optimistic.
I think it's certainly possible for South Africa to be removed from the so-called grey list within the next couple of months. There are a few things still outstanding. The most important part is that we need to convince the rest of the world that we are putting the necessary measures in place to make sure that terrorist funding will not happen through the South African financial system. But certainly it is possible for South Africa to be removed within a couple of months. In fact, early next year is certainly a doable target.
FATF will meet again in February next year, where it will determine whether South Africa has largely addressed all 22 action items. Zelene Merrington, SABC News, Parliament.